Hey everybody, Meisterbloo back here with some more Higurashi no Nakokoto ni Chapter 1, Onikakushi. I'm going to finish up with these here little notes that we got, so let's continue with Threat. From the distance I look like a tiki bar. Those guys just now, they had national diet badges. That's prefectural assembly member and a city councilor, Sonozaki. That's interesting. The prefectural assembly member and city councilor are related. It's dirty is what it is. Shouting out each other's name during elections. While one is up for election, the other one holds an assembly, and they double up on their campaigning activities. Blatantly. I don't know much about this stuff, but isn't that against the rules of the election? As long as they have no prior consultation, there are no restrictions on their political activities. Kuma-chan, the investigation division is going to be pretty tough for you. You should at least brush up on election policies. I'm not suited for the intelligence division, because I'm dumb. There was a prefectural assembly member, Sonozaki, and city councilor, Sonozaki. Also the mayor of Hinamizawa. All of them involved with the Sonozaki family. What crap. Looks like they were seen off by the department chief and the deputy chief. Came to me. Okay. Oh, I was about to say, I could have finished that last video, but whatever. That night, when the chief invited me along to get some Odin, I thought that was it. It is a little tiki bar place. You have a lot of connections, so you might have heard something, did you? I don't know who's talking about, so I'm just gonna assume. Nope, not a thing. Ma'am, I'll take a tofu fritter and a fish cake. A councilor barked at me in the police chief's stead. Oh my, is that so? Oh my, is that so? Ma'am, I'll take another bowl. Prefectural assembly member Sonozaki and city councilor Sonozaki were both intimidating. Our snot-nosed career police chief couldn't even handle being yelled at by them. They're like Yakuza. A petition with your name came up regarding how the investigation of the Hinamizawa incident is being handled. Goodness me! I've not the faintest. No need to play dumb. You're reopening the past cases regarding Hinamizawa, aren't you? I've already got my hands full with Tomitake's death, actually. Really? If that's true, then there's no problem. There was a period of silence. While we were silent, we made headway on our food and drink. Whew, that was quite the feast. This month has been a bunch of losses for me, so my wallet was feeling the pinch. Much appreciated. Nah, it's nothing. Tell me a good horse again. What the fuck? I'll bet on the same one as... Oh, that's what I was about to say. What are they talking about? I'll bet on the same one as you. I haven't been doing well there lately. I haven't even been able to read the horses at all. Taxi! I'm going by train. The police chief is taking a taxi. I have my own car, but it'd be rash to drive it home. Can't blow it right before retirement with a DUI. Even though he could still rattle off, it looked like his legs were already goo. Pushing him into the cab, I gave the driver the police chief's address. Well, see you again tomorrow. Happy New Year. Oishi-san. Yeah. The past incidents have all been closed. Stop lumping them all together. Those villagers half believe it's really a curse. Well, I'm not convinced. You're going to be retiring next year, aren't you? Weren't you going to pay off your mortgage with your pension and move up to Hokkaido with your mom? Mother pines to return to the land of her birth. It's the least I can do. And the pension, well, it'll let me enjoy myself in Susukino. The police chief may have issued a special retirement salary raise, he says. A public servant's pension is calculated based on their monthly salary. So if you were to get a raise right before retirement, your bonus to your salary would be inflated, and you'd get a heavy surplus of funds. It tends to be how it's done around here. Of course, it's not a custom that's thought of highly. The difference between the bonus and the pension is quite a bit. I'd expect nothing less exemplary from our egghead Shalif about. But, well, they say our salary is compensation for our hard work, but in the end, it really just has to do with the passage of time. That's not something I can laugh at, but I'll laugh through it anyway. I don't think it's anything exemplary. I can't say that word. Exemplary. But given how hard you've worked, it's not odd that you're getting that much of a pension. I'd like to get that much myself. If I could get it, well, of course I'd want it. You'll get it. You're an adult after all. Sorry for holding you up here, driver. Thank you very much. I closed the door roughly, interrupting the chief's conversation a bit rudely. It looked like the chief still had something to say, but he just smiled wryly and waved. I waved in return. The cab sped up gradually, and soon disappeared among the sea of lights. Oh man, I wonder if I can really repay that loan. Oh, Oishi-san, you card shark. Let's continue with the story. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of muffled footsteps stepped in front of the door of my room. A moment of silence, as if whomever they belonged to was ascertaining if I was inside. Of all the things I should have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. I was very much conscious, but my body hadn't caught up yet. Even with danger bearing down on me from just beyond the door, it was as if I was completely paralyzed, unable to move. Without a doubt, this was sheer terror. Please, just leave. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? If they came into my room right now, then... Ah! Eek! I sprung to my feet and threw my covers at my mom, who was opening the door. Whoa. Keiichi! What's the matter? Sorry. I was still half asleep. I am still half asleep. I thought it was still 1 or 2 a.m. I am extremely tired today too myself. I have no excuse for the yawning, except the fact that I'm just tired. But the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. It felt nothing like morning. Yesterday I must have fallen asleep right after that. Then I should have gotten a full 10 hours of rest. But it didn't feel like that at all. My internal clock was completely screwed up and my sense of balance felt off. I felt feverish enough that it was clear to me that I was still not well. Well, Keiichi, how are you feeling? Can you make it to school? I was well enough to go, but I wasn't mentally prepared for it. I was still plagued with the terror from yesterday. If I had swallowed that needle, what would have happened? Or what if it had pierced my tongue? There was undoubtedly a murderous intent, but I don't think that was all. If they really wanted to kill me, then there were more certain ways to do it. They wouldn't resort to such a dubious method as having me swallow a needle. Meaning, I didn't want to believe it, but going that far was just a threat from Rena and Mion. Aren't you glad you didn't die? But next time we'll use a more assured method. Like that. Something like sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this. Did you make it to the hospital? Did you take your medicine? Yeah, kinda. Something about my mom's dubious gaze bothered me. She seemed more concerned about her son missing 2 days of school rather than him being sick. It was definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't really physically ill. It'll be hard for you to get back on track once your daily routine is thrown off. Come on, get up! They say wellness is a state of mind. Oh, that's her. I'd heard that line many times before. I was given an award in elementary school for having perfect attendance, but it wasn't like I was healthier than everyone. Come on, go wash your face. Breakfast is almost ready. We're already ready. There isn't much time before Renichan comes and gets you. Mom's tone meant I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up on skipping a second day. By the way, were you the one who got bean paste all over the living room wall, Keiichi? You shouldn't do something like that. Your father was quite angry. I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't have much of a reaction. Also, Mom didn't question me any further about it. She headed back downstairs after she was certain I was getting up. What Mion had said as she left yesterday. I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow. Came back and dwelled in the back of my head. What did she mean by that? I didn't even have to really think about it. She was saying, don't be absent. Taking that a bit further, it was the same as her saying I should just go about living my life as if nothing happened. If I showed any signs of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. For example, maybe I shouldn't pay attention to someone like Oishi-san enticing me with something unusual. Meaning if I didn't watch my mouth or did anything differently from the norm, in effect it would end up flagging myself as someone who was not wanted. And it seems that was something that the girls didn't intend to forgive. So if I just went along as normal, no harm would come to me. Was that how it was going to be? All that misery I experienced up until yesterday would almost creepily just fade away. It was an enticing deal. Just by forgetting everything I'd seen or heard these last few days, I'd be able to keep living like normal. There's no way such a selfish thing could... I swallowed hard. I once again deliberated on the idea that I had just rejected. Mion is probably a good person who had her friends at heart. She was giving me, who had mistakenly broken some of their rules, a chance. Was what I did really something so unforgivable? But Mion had given me another chance. She was saying if I just forgot everything and kept living on like I had been, I'd be forgiven.
Keiichi, your food is gonna get cold! Hurry up and get down here! Rena will be here if you don't hurry!
I'm coming! I crammed my textbooks into my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. My eye is leaking! Why is that happening? That's not cool. I picked at my somewhat bland breakfast. It seemed that I didn't have much time. It was already past when I usually met up with Rena. Given yesterday's events, she'd probably be here in the next 5 minutes. I needed to be ready to head to school by then. I had to forget everything that had happened in the past 2 days. Forget it all and return to my normal life. For this to be normal, I'll have to be where I normally meet up with Rena. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. Bing bong! I jumped at the sound and dropped my chopsticks. That chime signaled that Rena had arrived. Mom hurried me along. Come on.
Come on, Rena-chan's already here! Hurry, hurry!
My mother's merry smile and my gloomy face were polar opposites. Rena, why? Honestly, I was reluctant to see Rena, who was waiting there on the other side of the door. The Rena on the other side was it the Rena I knew? I couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual. Oh, it is. It's normal, Rena.
Morning!
An invigorating greeting filtered in from across the doorway.
I came since Keiichi-kun was a bit late. Will he be okay today? I wonder.
The manner in which Rena was concerned was without a doubt the Rena I knew. But that was probably only if I reciprocated. Forget everything from yesterday, pretend as though nothing had happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious deaths that had happened on the following years. Forget about the people falling to their death and the terminal illness and suicide and the lynching and the disappearances. Forget it all. Forget that Rena and Mion were scary. Of course, forget it all. Forget about everyone. Forget about the mochi, too. Forget. Rena, once again, asked to make sure.
Can you make it to school?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Great! Then let's go. Mi-chan is waiting.
Rena showed me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. My nervousness dissipated, giving way to relief. Oh, it's normal, happy Rena.
But you see, Satoko-chan was so insistent she could do it.
As we were walking, Rena talked about a lot of different stuff, more so than usual. Then?
Satoko-chan is clumsy, so she failed no matter how many times she tried. She was so cute.
Everything Rena talked about was just silly nonsense, so I replied every so often and laughed from time to time. It was a rather laid-back conversation. We passed by one of our neighbors, and they called out to us.
Oh my, Kei-chan and Rena-chan, aren't you two a bit late today? Mion-chan said she was going on ahead.
Uh-oh, did Mi-chan look mad, I wonder? We need to hurry up, Keiichi-kun.
As we smiled and parted ways with our neighbor, they turned back towards me and stuck out a tongue. Not expecting that, I couldn't help but crack a smile.
Ah, Keiji-kun smiled.
What? Rena stopped and stared at me.
I was thinking that you still hadn't recovered from your cold since you seemed down this morning, Keiji-kun. But you seem fine. Fine.
With a grin, she gently poked my cheek.
Oh.
It was a bright, sincere smile. Hey, Keiichi Maribara. How can you still doubt Rena after she shows you a smile like that? Maybe I just had a high fever up until today, and I imagined everything that I thought happened because I was bedridden and delirious. I really hope that was the case. If God would grant me just one wish, there's only one thing that I'd wish for. I would want what had happened in the past few days. More specifically, from the night of the Watanagashi up until last night, I wanted all of that to have never happened. I wonder how many times I'd wished for this these past few days. As long as Rena kept smiling on like this, I think it just might become a reality. So I wanted Rena to keep smiling. Keep on smiling.
So, Keiichi-kun?
Oh, I was about to say she's gonna go creepy.
Those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all?
That vain wish of mine was instantly shattered. My heart began palpitating. The relaxed morning of mood suddenly became frigid. Rena's smile was the same as usual. Her eyes were gentle as usual.
Those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all?
Of course she wasn't asking the question at face value. In other words, Rena was asking, did you get the message? She was probably trying to convey that.
Keiichi-kun?
I was reluctant to give an answer. Rena stopped walking and stared deeply into my eyes. Don't hesitate, Keiji Maibara. Rena was acting the same as always, wasn't she? I needed to respond in my usual way. Naturally, of course. Both my throat and mouth had gone dry, and my lips were stuck together. Hurry and answer, Keiichi. Not that much time had passed. I can still keep the conversation going naturally. I had to say something quickly.
Did?
Rena playfully mimicked what I said, and I finally squeaked something out. Rena's reaction was still normal. It seems that there wasn't as long of a pause as I had thought. Somehow, I finally squeaked out the rest. Delicious! However, my restrained efforts neither sullied nor brightened Rena's expression. For a moment I panicked, thinking I had replied incorrectly. But after a few moments, Rena broke into her usual soft smile and giggled with a joyful voice that seemed to echo through the morning air. Being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well.
I see. So did you eat all of them, I wonder?
My timid smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the sewing needle? Was that what she was asking? If I had swallowed it, then I wouldn't be here. Nah, I couldn't finish all of them. There's still some left. I was scared out of my wits, but that's how I played it.
Huh? What about the homework to see if you could tell which one Rena made?
That homework? Was it due today?
Yeah, it's due today. Me-chan will get angry. There's probably a penalty game ready for you.
No. We both laughed at each other again. To a casual observer, it was just a typical morning. If I could just let myself believe, then even I'd think it was the usual morning routine. But I wasn't certain I wasn't mistaken. Or I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath the facade of this giggling Rena. Lies. I recalled that unexpected piercing voice that I could hardly believe came from Rena's mouth. The moment that image crossed my mind, I felt a cold sweat trickle down my back. Was it only that particular time that something evil had possessed Rena? No, that was wrong. That was still Rena. Oishi-san told me, didn't he?
Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryuki-san moved away to Hirabizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went through a school building and broke all of the windows.
Rena had a disorder that more normal people didn't. No matter how pleasantly she smiled, that fact would not change. But I couldn't even imagine how she looked as she broke all the glass throughout the window. Or all through the school. One thing I knew was that it wasn't something spur of the moment. If it was some sudden outburst of anger, then maybe she'd break a pane or two. Or she broke all of the windows all throughout her entire school. Just imagine going through your own school, breaking the windows with a bat. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. Oh my god. That was not expecting the shattering sound effect, and I have these turned up quite a bit. Oh my god, that was scary. I was like I almost turned around because I thought something was behind me. That's about it for this episode, though. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Meisterbloo, and I will see you all in the next video. So until then, everybody, peace out.